fellow Kenyans, members of the press, and fellow young professionals. Today, to begin with, we want to make one thing clear. We are not a political party, nor do we have any political affiliations or leaders behind our movement. We are partyless, tribeless, faceless, and we are Team Kenya, a collective of dynamic individuals united by a shared vision. We are the young professionals of Kenya. We are here to empower the young professionals, facilitate networking, and create job opportunities for our peers whom we know they are currently jobless. For years, we have sat quietly and supported each other, building careers and businesses under the radar, including our diaspora supporters. However, the Finance Bill of 2024 has compelled us to step into the public eye. The bill, which seeks to impose heavy taxes on professional services and young businesses, threatening our livelihoods and even our economic future as our country. We stand here today not aligned with any political entity, but purely to defend the young professionals and the vibrant entrepreneurial spirit of Kenya. Our opposition of the Finance Bill is to stand for fairness, innovation, and economic vitality of our nation. We oppose the Bill of 2024. As John F. Kennedy wisely said, "For those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable." We are here today to advocate for the peaceful change inspired by the power of non-violent movements that have reshaped history. Reflecting on the tragic story of Mohamed Bouazizi, whose act of desperation ignited the Arab Spring, we understand the profound impact of economic injustice and the necessity of standing against it. Historical example of peaceful and impactful youth movement, the Salt March, India 1930, led by Mahatma Gandhi. The peaceful protest against the British salt tax was a pivotal movement in India's struggle for independence. It showcased the power of non-violent resistance and the unity of the people in the face of economic oppression. The Velvet Revolution in 1989. This peaceful movement, led by students and young activists, just like we are seeing it right now in Kenya, ended decades of communist rule, driven by desire for political freedom and economic reforms, just like what we are doing right now. It succeeded without a single shot being fired. But right now we have lost 2 of our vibrant individuals. This movement exemplifies how peaceful protest can lead significant positive change, especially when the youth and the young professional unite for a common cause. Inspired by these historic events, we oppose the Finance Bill 2024. The negative impacts of the bill. The Digital Professional Service Taxation in Section 3 expands the definition of digital market to include platforms facilitating professionals and freelance services. What are the impacts of such? This will increase the tax burden on young professionals and digital entrepreneurs, reducing their net income and potentially stifling innovation and growth. Now, the significant economic presence tax. Impose tax on non-resident companies providing services through digital platform in Section 8. The impact would be this could discourage the international collaboration and limit growth opportunities for Kenyan startups by increasing cost and reducing the attractiveness of the market for the global taxpayers. And we've been able to witness that because most of the investors have decided they are moving to other countries, in fact, our neighboring countries. We are calling for comprehensive reform. We acknowledge the importance of taxation for the national development and the provision of public services. However, the bill imposes disproportionate burden on young professionals and emerging businesses. Therefore, We urge President Ruto to recall the Finance Bill 2024 in its entirety, not the amending, rather than making the piecemeal amendments whereby there are still some hidden things that are going to cripple our economy. It is imperative to develop a new bill that is fair, balanced, and conducive to economic growth without oppressing the very foundation of our professional and entrepreneurial communities. We call for reduction in the lavish spending by the ruling regime, ensuring that the taxpayer money is used inefficiently and transparently for the benefit of the entire nation. We can see and attest that as at now, the president has made 66 trips abroad and moved to and visited 38 countries. And are we able to see the benefit? I believe no. And on top of that, I would want to urge the First Lady, instead of her moving from one church to the next, we want her to bring back Linda Mama, because we are losing a lot of women during birth. We commend and we extend our deepest gratitude to the following individuals and groups who have stood with us in rejecting the finance bill. The Fourth Estate, for their unwavering commitment to reforming the public and highlighting the critical issues surrounding the bill. Online medias and social platforms, for Kenyan on X, TikTok, and Instagram, for amplifying our voices and mobilizing support through creative engagement, engaging content. Musicians and artists, we saw them the other day, they all came out on the streets and shouted, "Reject the finance bill." Legal and healthcare professionals, led by the Law Society of Kenya, that is LSK, President Faith Odhiambo, and Dr. Austin Omondi Japrado, for providing legal insights and advocacy to challenge unjust policies and for offering medical support. And we also want to say thank you for Jamii Amos, for they offered us a space for treatment. Religious leaders who have also given us moral support in calling out the unquestionable governance. Entertainers and nightclub. The other day we saw them at midnight. They just stopped the music to shout, "We reject the finance bill." For the members of parliament who voted no to the finance bill, for standing up for the interest of their own constituencies and the nation as a whole. Independent Policy Oversight Authority, IPOA, and the Police Officer of Goodwill, for ensuring the protection of Kenyans in exercising their constitutional right to peacefully protest and investigating the tragic death of Rex and Evans during demonstrations. And may the Lord rest their souls in peace. Amnesty International Kenya and other goodwill organizations for advocating for human rights and supporting our cause. And a special thanks to Beirut Restaurant for graciously providing the venue for today's press conference. Your support is inevitable and deeply appreciated. What is our call to action? We call upon all the young professionals, the Gen Z, the millennials, and the Kenya from all walks of life. Our unity is our strength. Remember, a people united can never be defeated. That is our slogan. While the President Ruto has extended an olive branch for dialogue, we must be cautious and demand that any approach to equity and dialogues come with a clean heart and genuine intention. Reports of police brutality against peaceful protesters and the abduction of young youths voicing their dissent online cannot be ignored. We've seen how our colleagues have been abducted in the wee hours of the night. Let us stand together, peacefully yet firmly, to oppose the Finance Bill 2024 and advocate for a fair, more equitable future. Our united voices can inspire the change we seek. Let us be the generation that we seek, that will speak out for justice, defend our rights, and build a prosperous Kenya. Thank you all. Kuna moja tulipita.